Now we will do a few problems on the root locus. Okay, so one thing that you can observe in the past year papers is that in the ESE mains or the ESE subjective paper, you can expect a complete construction of the root locus. Okay, but when it comes to objective type papers like the ESE objective or GATE or any other PSU exam which is of objective type, you will not be asked for the complete construction of a root locus. Instead, some questions like this will be asked. Okay, some features of the root locus will be asked. Okay, so we will do a few problems, then you will get to understand what are the type of questions that can be asked in objective type papers. Okay, so which of the following are the characteristics of the root locus of g of s is equal to k into s plus 5 by s plus 1 into s plus 3. So the open loop transfer function is given. Okay, and we have various statements. 4 statements are given. We have to find out which of the statement is true and which of them is wrong. Okay, so we will go one by one. The first statement is about the number of asymptotes. It is given that it has one asymptote. Okay, so what is the number of asymptotes? It is mod of n minus m. Okay, where n is the number of open loop poles and m is the number of zeros. Okay, so here you have from the function you can see that the number of poles is 2 and the number of zeros is 1. Okay, so this will be equal to mod of 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1. This means that there is one asymptote. So statement 1 is true. Okay, next, second statement, it has intersection with the j omega axis. Okay, so how do you find the j omega axis? You will use the RH criteria. Okay, the first thing that you have to obtain is the characteristic equation. What is characteristic equation? 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. Okay, so this you will get s square plus s into 4 plus k plus 3 plus 5k is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the order 2. S square, it starts from s square, s power 1, s power 0. Okay, so the first two rows 1 and 3 plus 5k, the alternate coefficients. Okay, and this will be 4 plus k. Okay, so s power 0 will be 3 plus 5k. So 4 plus k into 3 plus 5k minus 1 into 0 divided by this, you will get this. Okay, now for intersection with the j omega axis, what is the condition? One of the rows should be 0 and that row should be a odd power of s. So what is the odd power of s here? S power 1. Okay, that means 4 plus k should be equal to 0. Okay, so k should be equal to minus 4. But for the direct root locus, k should be positive. Okay, but since k is negative, it means that it is not intersecting there is no intersection of the j omega axis for positive values of k, for any positive value of k. Okay, so statement 2 is incorrect. Okay, now the third statement, it says that it has two real axis intersections. Okay, so what is meant by the intersections? Real axis intersections. Okay, so let us say there is a breakaway point on the real axis. Okay, so what will happen at the breakaway point? The root locus will leave the root locus. That means it is intersecting the root locus. Okay, so which is why intersections here implies that we are talking about the breakaway points. We have to find out how many breakaway points are there. Okay, so the number of breakaway points on the real axis. Okay, not all the breakaway points. The number of breakaway points on the real axis are the ones which will cause real axis intersections. Okay, so now if you plot these open loop poles and zeros, okay, we have one pole at minus 1, we have one pole at minus 3 and we have one 0 at minus 5. Okay, now between minus 1 and minus 3 we have the root locus, because to the right of which there is only one pole. Okay, so between minus 5 and minus 3 you will not have any root locus. Beyond minus 5 also you will have the root locus. Okay, because to the right you have 2 poles plus 1 0, which is 3. 3 is an odd number. Okay. Now we know that whenever there are adjacent poles like -1 and -3, between which there is a root locus existing, then there will be a breakaway point here. Okay. So you have to note one thing here, even if there are adjacent poles between which if there is no root locus, then there won't be any breakaway point there. Okay, so breakaway point will exist only when there is a root locus. Okay, so between adjacent poles, if there is a root locus branch existing, then you will have a breakaway point. Okay, so we have one breakaway point here. Now before seeing the next breakaway point, we will have to discuss one small concept here. Okay, so whenever the number of poles is not equal to the number of zeros, what will happen? We will have asymptotes. Okay, so asymptotes are the straight lines which the root locus will follow to infinity points, right? So that is what is the asymptotes, right? That means whenever there are asymptotes, the root locus is approaching infinity. They are tending to infinity. Now when the value of s tends to infinity, then it will either form a pole or a zero depending on the function. Okay, so when will it be a pole, when will it be a zero? Okay, for example, if you take this function g of s h of s here, okay, so let us say we take the limit s tends to infinity. Okay, so k into s plus 5 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 3. You have to find out the limit of s tends to infinity. So what will we do here? We will divide the expression by the highest power of s, which is s square here. Okay, so you will get k into 1 by s plus 5 by s square divided by 1 plus 1 by s into 1 plus 3 by s. So here you are getting 0 when you are substituting, when you are taking a limit s tends to infinity. That means there is a 0 at s is equal to infinity. So s is equal to infinity is one of the zeros of this function. Okay, along with the 0 minus 5. So whenever there is an asymptote, you have to remember that the value of s will tend to infinite. Okay, and at infinite there might either be a pole or zero, which you can find out from taking the limit, or a much simpler way. There is a much simpler way. Okay, if the number of poles is greater than the number of zeros, okay, then there will be zeros at infinity. Okay, here you can see that there are 2 poles and 1 0. So there will be 1 0 at infinity. Okay, so basically what should happen is the number of poles and zeros should be equal, and if they are not equal, then that many number of poles or zeros should be existing at infinity. Okay, so since you have 2 poles here and you have only one finite zero, so you will have one zero at infinity. You will have an infinite zero. Okay, so as simple as that. This is one concept that you have to remember. It will come often in the concepts, in the questions. Okay, so here in this third statement, it has 2 real axis intersections. So we have one breakaway point between 2 adjacent poles. Okay, but you also have 2 adjacent zeros at -5 and also minus infinity. There will be 1 0 here. Okay, and these are 2 adjacent zeros between which there is root locus existing. So there will be a breakaway point here also. Okay, this is the second breakaway point. So this root locus will have 2 real axis intersections. Statement 3 is correct. Okay, and the fourth statement, the final statement, it states that it has 2 zeros at infinity, but we just found out that there is only 1 0 at infinity. Okay, so statement 4 is incorrect. What is the answer? Only 1 and 3 are correct, which is option D. So we will do one more question here. The breakaway point in the root loci plot for the loop transfer function, given loop transfer function is. Okay, so basically we have to find out the breakaway point. Okay, so how do you find the breakaway point? we know that we have to solve the equation dk by ds is equal to 0. Okay, so first we have to find out the expression of k in terms of s. Okay, so we know that 1 plus g of s into h of s is 0. Okay, so here h of s is not given. The loop transfer function is directly given to be g of s. Okay, so this will be 1 plus k by s into s plus 3 whole square is equal to 0. Okay, so what will be k? K is equal to minus s into s plus 3 whole square. You can further write this as minus s cube minus 6s square minus 9s. Okay, so now you substitute here. D by ds of minus s cube minus 6s square minus 9s is equal to 0. Okay, so you will get minus 3s square minus 12s minus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, so this will be 3s square plus 12s plus 9, or you can say s square plus 4s plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so what are the roots of this equation? They will be s is equal to minus 1 and minus 3. So now the next step, which often a lot of people will forget, is we have to check again whether which of these points is lying on the root locus. Okay, so we can see that if you construct the root locus, so we have one pole at s is equal to 0 and we have two poles at s is equal to minus 3. Okay, so we know that the root locus will lie here because there is only one pole to its right. Okay, and beyond also it will lie because to the right you have three poles, two poles at minus 3 and one pole at 0. Okay, so the entire root locus, entire real axis will be the root locus. Okay, so both minus 1 and minus 3 are the valid breakaway points. Okay, but here minus 3 is not given, so we will mark option C, which is minus 1.